I would say on a kind of a lofty level, the inspiration behind the Branding and Integrated Communications Master's Program. And you have to understand there's a lot of levels when you're introducing a program, many not so lofty. But the real lofty reason behind it is that the industry has changed so much. And we find that in the undergraduate program, which has such enormous value and really teaches the students key foundational knowledge that will allow them to enter the workforce and an entry level, is still exactly what the students need to know to be at that level. But the industry moves so quickly, and it's so challenging what's out there, that in order to get to that next level, we needed to have another program that advanced that kind of thinking. We went out into the industry and saw that it was kind of needed, and also the other thing was the cross-disciplinary aspect of it. The undergrad program is management, advertising management, and PR, kind of discrete tracks that end in an integrated way. We wanted to start a program where students were thinking in an integrated way from the very, very beginning and weren't siloed in their thinking. And we think that that's the way that the industry is moving. Mm-hmm. It's not, everybody is not thinking that way, so I think that it's a fairly unique program. Not every curriculum has to be taught this way, but we think that the energy and the value of having everybody at the table, creative people, managers, planners, public relations professionals, all at the table as they're doing their thinking and understanding all those foundational needs. And again, it kind of gets back to that, to the idea of ad critique, where everybody in the room kind of knows what they're talking about.
Right.
Not necessarily from their area of expertise or their depth where they have all that passion from, but in a broader sense, so that they know who to reach out to, how to talk to people, and how to make ideas happen. So that was kind of the inspiration for it, and it's also the guiding principles that we used when we developed the curriculum. So we have foundational knowledge, where everybody has to take 4 foundational courses, and they're all in the room together, they're all learning from each other, as well as from industry professionals that we bring in. We have a lot of guest lecturers, we have a lot of adjuncts who are very high level in the industry, so their knowledge is fresh, it's happening as they teach it. And then students go into some specialization depth, and then they all come back together again for 2 different capstones. One is the practicum in not-for-profit, because we think that dealing with not-for-profit clients and projects, more mission-based things, have their own challenges that students need to be familiar with and be experts in. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of our students come in thinking very entrepreneurially, thinking about brand's value to society. I think that's part of our DNA, mm-hmm. in not just talking about branding as empty calories, but something that actually adds value to society, that if you're going to do it, you should do it in a way that makes your company have meaning to not just your stakeholders, but using it as a leadership tool within, and also amplifying it to add value to society. You know, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it in a mm-hmm. way that adds value. And I think that capstone helps the students see that in a real practical way. And then we also have a final capstone that we call the corporate capstone, in which we deal with a corporate client, and hopefully the students bring those same values in, but the corporate client is much more loose and open, and in terms of what those deliverables are going to be. So that's the final thing. The other thing that I think makes the program really meaty and even somewhat unique is that it's all portfolio driven. So yes. The creatives, who that's their world, is delivering a portfolio and figuring out how to show their work.
Nice.
But in our program, all those other people, the public relations practitioners, the managers, the planners, all have to develop a portfolio too. So it's kind of like proof mm-hmm. that they've learned what it is that they've done. And how to visualize that, how to make that meaningful, I think is such a great practice. And so that's a huge value that we deliver to the students, is that from the very beginning we talk about that portfolio, that it's something that they need to defend at the end. We're bringing industry professionals in to kind of bring it up a level. Mm-hmm. So it's not just to the people that they've always been presenting it to or talking to, that they have to raise it up to a level and actually have to defend it. It's like defending a thesis to us.
Nice.
And so that's one of the main deliverables of of the 2-year program.